I hope you're ready for a delicious trip down memory lane with today's video. First, we're gonna start with classic cafeteria noodles. Next, a hearty breakfast casserole that is sure to get any morning off to the right start. And to top it all off, I'm gonna introduce the most irresistible lunch lady brownies that you have ever tasted. And trust me, you'll wanna stick around to the end. These are lessons you do not wanna miss. All right, y'all, this first recipe is called cafeteria noodles, or I grew up calling it chicken and dumplings. Now, it's not homemade chicken and dumplings, but this is kind of what I know it as. And these are the ingredients we're gonna use, only a few ingredients, but if you've never made this before, don't be surprised. This has so much flavor and it's just something about it. So we are gonna need some chicken broth. This is the reduced sodium kind. We'll need 1 can of creamy chicken soup. This is a 12-ounce bag of the wide egg noodles. I have a stick of butter out here, but I'm not gonna use the entire stick. We also have some Better Than Bouillon, and then I'll probably just use the pepper, not so much the salt. All right, the first thing I'm doing, just getting my chicken broth in the pot. Also to our chicken broth, we're gonna add a spoonful of this Better Than Bouillon. It's basically just concentrated chicken broth. And the lady I saw making this on TikTok, she said a good spoonful, and that's about what she did. So that's what we're gonna add. So you definitely wanna get the low sodium chicken broth because this is salty. So we don't want our salt content to be crazy high. All right, that'll melt down as this comes up to a simmer. We're also gonna go ahead and add in some black pepper. Like I said, we're definitely not gonna add salt here. We will taste it later on if we need it, but we probably won't. I'm gonna add in our black pepper. We're just gonna bring this up to a boil. All right, you can see our water has come up to a simmer. So now all we're gonna do, grab my bag of egg noodles and we're just gonna dump these right in. All right, well, I'm giving these a stir. So this is something that I actually learned to cook. One of the first things I ever learned to cook. Like I said at the beginning, we call this chicken and dumplings. It's kind of like, I don't know, lazy girl chicken and dumplings. But this is what I grew up eating. And I learned to make this, and during summer when I was home by myself when I was a little older, I would make this for myself for lunch all the time. So it's kind of a little bit nostalgic for me. So the broth won't fully cover your noodles, but I'm gonna pop the lid on here and let this go probably 5 to 10 minutes. All right, y'all, our noodles have been cooking just a few minutes. So now it's time to add in our cream of chicken soup. Give that another stir, and we'll let these continue to cook until our noodles are tender. Will not take long at all. This is one of those meals that you could have this for a side dish. Like I said, you could do like we used to and add chicken in with it. That's what I'm actually gonna do tonight. I'll show you how I'm cooking my chicken here in just a second while these finish up. But you could add veggies in here, anything, but just this recipe on its own is so budget friendly. It's probably less than $5 to make. I didn't calculate it, but everything in here is super cheap. And honestly, it's probably stuff you have in your pantry as well. So tonight, this is how I'm gonna make our chicken to go in our noodles. I have been loving these. Great value, they're frozen chicken breast tenderloins. I pop these in the air fryer from frozen, and they really cook up less than 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And they're so easy to do as well. So I have my little air fryer liner over here. I'm gonna preheat my air fryer without that in there. And then all I'm gonna do is spray them down with a little bit of cooking spray. It's the extra virgin olive oil kind. And then you can use whatever seasoning you like. I like this Raging Cajun. It's mild. It pretty much goes with everything. So that's what we're gonna use. All right, the air fryer's heated up. I'm just cooking about 4. You can see they're pretty big. They will, of course, shrink down a little bit, but we're not trying to like have a whole bunch of chicken. We just want to add a little bit of protein to our noodles. So I'm going to give each one a little spray. I'm going to sprinkle some on, and then I will flip these over at least once throughout the cooking time. But I'm just going to pop these in here. I have the air fryer on 375, and I just watch them. I set it for 20 minutes. I flip them halfway through, and I will tip them to make sure they're 165. All right, y'all, I just tasted this, and I always like to tell y'all when I'm kind of changing it up, just so you can make it the best way. I just tasted it, and it is very salty. Like, I was going by that lady on TikTok, but I think you should maybe add half of that Better Than Bouillon. I added that against my better judgment. But anyway, I just added a little bit of water to hopefully cut some of that saltiness down, and that should help. But I would advise y'all just to add about half of that chicken Better Than Bouillon, and you can always add a little bit of water as well. All right, our chicken tenderloins are finished cooking. I'm gonna get my paper out of there, and y'all look, I got a new air fryer. Look how clean those papers keep your air fryer. It's crazy. All right, so I'm just gonna slice up our chicken, have it ready over here on the side, and we're gonna stir it in just a second. It is still warm. All right, got all of our chicken chopped up. Alrighty, now it's time to add in the butter. We're gonna add in our chicken now as well, so it can be kind of warming up again with everything. And like I said, I think she did add a whole stick of butter. When I made this before growing up, I don't think we added any butter to it, so you don't have to. But, I mean, I'm not a butter hater, so I'm gonna add a little bit of butter. Probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 tablespoons. Let that kind of melt down in there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my stove all the way down to low. I grabbed my chicken as well. I'm just gonna drop it in and give it a stir, and I'll pop the lid on and just let it sit for another couple minutes, and we'll be ready to have this. And this smells good. I mean, it's just chicken broth, but both kids have already come downstairs and said, what am I cooking? It smells delicious. So like I said earlier, it's been a while since I've made these noodles, and especially this variation, but the girls and both Darren and I loved these. Darren and I both ate 2 big old bowls full of this. It is so filling, and I cannot wait to have this on our dinner rotation, especially coming in to the fall and winter time. Good morning, y'all. It's a little bit before 9, and I'm gonna put together this breakfast casserole. I'm still in my robe if you see me in the corner, but I'm gonna put together this breakfast casserole. This is a different one that I've actually never made before, but it just reminded me of a good hearty breakfast, something really simple you can throw together for your kids for, you know, in the mornings before school. All right, so I'm actually gonna half this recipe. This is an 8 by 8 dish, but if you're making the whole thing, 9 by 13, and give it a little spray. And then for this breakfast casserole, instead of using like a loaf of bread or something like that, we're actually gonna use a roll of crescent rolls. And I'm just using 1 roll. Like I said, I'm halving this recipe, but I'm just gonna get them opened up, and I'm gonna get all of our crescent rolls rolled out and into the baking dish. All right, we have all our little croissants rolled up in our dish, and bring over a mixing bowl. Into it, we're gonna add 3 eggs. If you're making the whole recipe, it calls for 5 eggs. But of course, anytime I'm showing a recipe, it's always linked or typed out in the description box. And the description box is the little drop-down menu right below this video. You can find my entire recipes down there. All right, 3 eggs. Next, I'm pouring in 1/2 cup of milk. I have 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Next, I'm just gonna add a little pinch of salt, pinch of black pepper. Then we're just gonna whisk everything together. All right, I'm gonna scoot that to the side as well. All right, now I have 4 slices of bacon here. I just fried up some bacon earlier, and I'm just gonna give these 4 slices a chop, because these are actually gonna go in our breakfast casserole. We're just gonna add our bacon into our egg mixture. And lastly, we're gonna add in about 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. All right, we're gonna get everything stirred together. Try to get that cheese and bacon on there evenly. All right, and I already have my oven preheated to 375, and this is gonna bake just for 20 to 25 minutes. I'm gonna keep an eye on it until I see my little crescent rolls starting to brown up and my egg mixture set. Let's get it into the oven. Y'all probably know by now that I am a sucker for a good breakfast casserole, especially when it's as easy as this one is, and we really love the change up. Normally my breakfast casseroles include sausage and sandwich bread or something like that, but with the addition of bacon and using these little crescent rolls, it was so nice, such a hearty breakfast. But like I said, it's still something really easy to prepare on those early mornings. All right, so we're actually gonna be using an 8x8. I don't have a 9x9, but either one of those will work. We're also gonna get some parchment paper in here and just a little bit of cooking spray, just to make sure our brownies pop right out of there. All right, let's get that to the side. All right, so next we just have a large bowl here. To that, we're gonna add 1 cup of sugar. We're also gonna add 1 stick of melted butter. And we are just gonna cream this together until it's combined and it makes kind of a lighter color. A light pale yellow is what we want. All right, next we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. We're also gonna add 2 eggs to this. All right, eggs going in. Now I'm just gonna give this a stir until everything is combined. All right, I'm gonna bring my mixer back over and I'm gonna slowly add in, we have 1 cup of flour and 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. And you said 1/4 cup. That's funny because did you see that comment the other day where somebody, I think they were from the UK, they said they found it so weird that everybody over here says fourths, like a 1/4 cup, because over there they say 1/4 cup, but we say fourths. I hardly ever say 1/4 cup.
I always say quarter.
1/4 cup. I say 1/4 cup.
1/4 cup, 1/2 cup, 3/4 cup. Or, yeah, 3/4 cup.
See, I say 3/4. Anyway, let us know where you're from and what y'all say. All right, slowly going in, I'm gonna add a little bit of cocoa powder. Probably add in about 1/2 each. Go ahead and give it a mix. All right, y'all, she thick. All right, let's bring our dish back down. Let me grab my other spurtles. All right, now we're just gonna get all of our brownie batter into a pan. And this is another recipe. It seems to be the common theme with these lunch lady recipes we're sharing today. These ingredients are things that you probably always keep in your pantry. I love recipes like that. All right, I'm gonna spread her out a little bit as much as I can. All right, that's about as good as it's gonna get. All right, we already have the oven on 350. This is just going in there for about 20 to 25 minutes or until a toothpick inserted comes out clean. The recipe says do not overbake this. Actually, the recipe says until a toothpick comes out just not wet. So it may not be clean, but you don't want it to come out just raw. All right, so while our brownies are in the oven, we're gonna work on our frosting. In this bowl, I already have 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. To that, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. We're also gonna add 2 tablespoons of just softened butter. And then we're gonna start with about 3 tablespoons of milk. Y'all probably know anytime you're making a frosting, you wanna start with less milk or liquid and add more. It only takes a little bit. All right, we're gonna whisk or mix this up and see what we got. So I'm literally just gonna add a tablespoon of milk. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but that looks delicious. I don't know that I ever had anything like this at school. But good. I mean, I would have ate one at school. Somebody offered it to me.
Yeah.
Did you ever eat anything like this at school? You had brownies?
Yeah, they had brownies.
Y'all, we were gonna make I remember one thing from school. We had the oversized cookies. They were almost as big as this bowl right here, y'all. So that's what I remember having at school all the time. But it's a chocolate chip cookie recipe. And we just shared chocolate chip cookies, so I wanted to mix it up. But those were really good too.
We had those cookies too.
So good. Especially when you got a warm one. So good. All right, time to get these frosted up. But the recipe says to frost these while they're warm, and then we're gonna let the whole thing kind of cool together before we slice into them. So the frosting and everything should harden back up. These look incredible. These also remind me of, I maybe had 1 or 2 of these as a kid because they were not that good, but the TV dinners with the brownie in there, that's what it reminds me of.
You know how long it's been since I've had one of them?
I know. We should try to recreate a TV dinner.
Recreate a TV dinner.
We're gonna let this cool. We're gonna go put our bathing suits on, y'all, because we want to go out to the pool. But we'll check back in with y'all here in just a little bit when these are cooled down. All right, y'all. Our brownies have been setting up. Look at that, y'all. That looks delicious. I'm not even a huge brownie fan, and I'm so excited about this.
I love brownies, and I'm drooling.
I love brownies. I do like brownies better with a frosting like this. Yum, yum, yum. All right, y'all, we're not on camera right now, but we're all in here taste testing these. This is my little bite. I'm only gonna take a few bites, but these things are so fudgy. I think these are my favorite brownies I have made, and I've made several different brownie recipes, and these are the easiest too. Such few ingredients. I can see why these would be like a lunch lady, school cafeteria type of deal. Y'all make sure you give these a try. And there you have it, y'all. A delicious cafeteria style noodles, a hearty breakfast casserole, and these incredible lunch lady brownies. I really hope this journey was just as delicious for you as it was for me. And if you love today's video, hit that subscribe button. I post new easy recipes just like this every single week. I have 2 more videos right here on the screen that I think you may enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.